So I'm out here at the farm. I want to answer a couple of questions. I was just looking at people asking me questions. It says, Wayne, I live on the outskirts and I got some land and they're starting to build subdivisions close to me or around me. What does that do to my home's value? And some of you may know the answer to this and some may not. But here's the reality. Money flows where attention goes. And if attention is on land and subdivisions and people want to be out, then people are going to move out. And what that does to your home value is this. Whenever there's people, there will be development. Whenever there's development, there will be commercial development. Suburbs were created. If you got to hold on to this. Suburbs were created because people moved out. It wasn't necessarily that they wanted to be out in the country. Of course, there's those people. Excuse me, it's a little hot and humid down here in southern Louisiana. You can just about hold a cup out and catch the humidity in the air. Money flows where attention goes. So what happens is when they develop a subdivision, your property value's bottom line goes up. Anytime it goes up, and here's the reason why it goes up because when there's people, there will be commercial development. And when there's commercial development, so I always tell people this: if you're looking around to buy a house and you're like, man, I can't afford a house where I want to live, I can't afford a house, your first house is not your forever house. Promise you. The percentage of people that buy their first house, and maybe you're one of them, that you've lived in your house for 40 years. I've sold real estate for 30 years, and I can tell you, I can count on one hand how many people that I've sold their home and they've lived in it for 30 plus years. Very few people do that. They buy a house, they buy a starter house, they buy a little fixer-upper, and oftentimes you're living in an apartment, and those apartments are really nice. They may have granite countertops and new carpet and paint, and they're super convenient and everything. But here's the thing, it doesn't build wealth. I don't care if you call me, connectwithwayne.com, or anybody. We can connect you with lenders and agents and all that. I tell people, if you can see my face and hear my voice, we can sell your house regardless of what city, what county, what state, what parish you are in the United States. Even in Canada. Doesn't matter. Got agents all around the country. The reality is this. When they start putting in commercial developments, that means more people are coming. So look for where the Walmart's at. Look for where the super Walmart's going in, and look for where they're putting apartment complexes. If they start building an apartment complex on the outskirts of town, you're like, man, there ain't nobody there. Here's what I mean by that. Before they spend $15 to $25 million on a development, they will spend $1 million doing research of where are the people going, where are they buying, where are they shopping, where are they moving, where are manufacturers, industry, everything. And why are they moving out? People move out because they don't want to be around crime. They want convenience. And bottom line is this, affordability. You have to understand this. My first house was in White House, Tennessee. Why? It wasn't in Goodlettsville because everything that I could buy in Goodlettsville was a cracker box, small house for $80,000. I bought my first house for $79,500. I sold it 5 years later for $107,000. I made cash. I made money. You can do the same thing. Your first house is not your forever house. And if you live in a home right now and they're starting to develop around your home, rest assured that your home value is going to go up. It's going to increase. It's not going to decrease. Money flows where attention goes. When there's attention to land, there's attention to media, there's attention to you watching this video. That means more attention. And when you get attention, just like Oprah Winfrey, a lot of people know that name. Oprah Winfrey became the first woman multi-millionaire, hell, maybe even billionaire. How? Because she ran a show for 4 o'clock every afternoon, and people ran advertisement on that network and that time slot, and they paid her. It's no different than you see a lot of these people have YouTube channels, have TikTok channels. They have 7, 8, 10 million followers. They're making $40,000 a month, believe it or not. True. Not selling a product. You're just talking, because when you're here, they advertise on my channel, WayneTurnerTV.com. The advertisement pops up. When the advertisement pops up, people are paying Google, who owns YouTube, and Google pays me for saying, hey, push out good content, give out great information, give out factual, truthful information. Unfortunately, it's not all factual, it's not all truthful, because you will have a lot of people out there. And that's why I do a lot of videos about housing crashes, and the housing market's not going to crash. It hadn't crashed. You had people saying that for 6 years now. It's not going to crash. And let me give you a quick example of what causes a housing crash. A housing crash, by definition, happens when you have multi-millions of home owners that can no longer afford to pay their mortgage. And when they don't pay their mortgage, the bank has to take the property back. The bank doesn't want to take your property back. If they want to take your property back, the banks would be buying all these houses, right? They don't want your house. They want your interest. They want your money. They don't want the house. Have you ever noticed that? They don't take your house if you're paying. They give you the loan, they give you the money gladly. They don't take your house if you're paying, but as soon as you stop paying. So that's what causes a housing crash. For example, you have millions upon millions of people back in 2007, 8. All of a sudden, their mortgage rates or interest rates went up. They had adjustable rate mortgages. Job market kind of cut back. At that point, diesel fuel was high, but most importantly, crude oil was high. So I tell people real simple. When you see crude oil hitting $140 to $150 a 55-gallon barrel, you will more likely see a housing crash, because you will see massive layoffs, because everything in this world is not only put on a plane, put on a boat, put on a train, put on a truck. It's transportation, right? None of those vehicles of transportation are electric. They're all fuel, and fuel is made from crude oil. Not just that, people don't realize that crude oil makes everything. Everything is a byproduct of crude oil. The glasses on my head, the phone, the case, the watch, it's called plastic. Most people don't realize that plastic is oil. It's crude oil. Everything is plastic. Your car's made of plastic. Zip ties made of plastic. Look around your house. Everything's plastic. Even though it may seem hard, like the handle on your microwave, rest assured it's plastic. It's hard plastic. And until they come up with a better way, a better reason, a better type of something, because years ago it was the industrial age, and it was iron, and it was metal, and it was steel, and the market blew up. Well, we're in the age of it's oil, because everything is plastic. And they want it to be everything plastic, because when everything's plastic, guess what? They rely on crude oil, and it's a gazillion-dollar business. I mean, big money, right? I hope this information helps you. If people are coming out to your area and you're on the outskirts and you see a little traffic, all of a sudden you see a development come in, DSLD, they're one of the largest builders. You see these, they'll all of a sudden go in and clear out 100 acres of land to put in 200 houses. And don't get me wrong, that was my first house in one of those small neighborhoods. I'm not a fan of it, especially when they go and they rake out all the trees. I love trees. I think it's part of nature. I love the shade. When it's 400 degrees like it is right now in southern Louisiana, it's nice to have a little bit of shade, you know? A lot of people go in and take out all the trees. Maybe you like the trees, maybe you don't. Either way, chime in. Say, trees are good, give me a thumbs up. Trees are bad, give me a thumbs up. I don't really care. It's just the simple things. Your home value goes up whenever people are looking for your house. Whenever people are wanting to be on the outskirts. And when they want to be on the outskirts, money flows where attention goes. Always remember that. You can't go wrong. Money flows where attention goes.